So let's say I have a setup for item as many attached images. So that's in active storage. You have in Rails, you have part of the Ruby on Rails called active storage, which is taking care of like uploading files and then like can render those images. So let's go to and in order to so if you upload the files, they will just let's say I will loop through the item images, and for each uploaded image, I'm just displaying the image. And second, and what I'm just doing, I'm just rendering those images without any variant. So they are like the size as they are. So here is the image number one. It's a large lake. Here's the number two, which is like just a snapshot of a website. So it's a really narrow image, really long. And third one will be a small meme image. And reason why they are like kind of shrink or they appear like shrink is because I just have them like in a grid also. So I'm just stacking these images in a grid layer of three, so 1, 2, 3 columns. So that's why they like appear to be shrinked even they are like large. So anyway, so how can we actually make them so they are not large? And first of all, we can use the resize to limit variant. So what we'll say else is like you have the image tag image dot variant resize limit. Let's do 300 by 300. 300. Yeah. What will happen? Doesn't appear as much has happened, but let's see. Copy image. Okay, so this one shrinked to fill the 300 dimension. And let's actually look what's it will downsize the image to fit the specified dimension within the original aspect ratio. Yeah, it's all explanatory. So we will not crop the image or anything. And we'll only resize the image if it's larger than the specified dimension. So that means like you will shrink the image so that width or height you will fit the 300. So in this case, shrink the width. In this case, we shrink the height. And in the case of this image, didn't do really anything because again, the limit will only resize the image large to the specified dimensions. Let's go with fit. Translate to 300 by 300, but instead of limit, we will say fit. Now, if I open the lake, it appears to be same as before. Yep. So with same as limit. Let's open this one. So again, same as before with limit. As for the Dutch image, it's definitely larger than the original, and you can see like the image is not a perfect square, so it's like I think it's 550 by 70 or something like that. So you can see the height was filled into the dimension of 300. So it's definitely growth, but it's not a perfect 300 by 300. So how about resize the fill? Now you can see we actually done some cropping. You can see this one is perfect 300 by 300 square. Same applies for the site. Same applies for Dutch. Is 300 by 300. So you can see before with resize to fit, it wasn't perfect square. Now it is perfect square. Now, fourth option is resize to path. So let's read it out. It will resize the image to necessary ratio, and it will fill the space with remaining area. And let's see how that looks like. So this one was JPEG. These two are PNGs. So the JPEG was filled with black color. Fill the perfect square. I know you cannot see it, but you can see the images having some black surrounding. How about the website? It was PNG, so this is a transparent color. It's filled. It's like remaining area is filled with transparent color. Pretty sweet. And same is for Dutch. It's like a transparent color fill. Okay. So those are these four main properties. Now we have a crop and rotate, and I think that's self-explanatory. Let's do resize to. Let's start with resize to limit. We will say, okay. Oh no, actually, let's do this. So crop will first take like the position where you start cropping and the dimension you crop. So let's do 300 by 300 as we had before. Crop, and we will specify. Let's say we will say, okay, keep the x-axis, the x-axis or y-axis. I don't know which one is first, but okay, keep it at 0, 50. Second parameter, so I think is like move down. We are pretty much saying move down, and then we're cropping of 300 by 300. So let's see what will happen. So as you can see, the original lake was kind of like cropped around this area, I think. This is actually a cropped image, 300 by 300. It's for this area. The original image was again like moved down a bit at 300 by 300. As for the Dodge image, as you can see, it's not loading properly. You'll get an error, and the reason why we are getting error is because it's too small to crop for 300 by 300. So we are basically telling this tiny image, okay, go here and do a 300 by 300 just like area, which doesn't have, so it will just fail. So crop will not work, but what we can do is like we can either do first resize to limit and resize to fit. So let's do resize to limit. We will say maybe, okay, let's resize to 900 by 900 and then do a crop. So yeah, that's self-explanatory. We just resize the image to fill 900, 900 and then like do the cropping. So you can see even we done the cropping for the lake, it's kind of different position. I think we are here somewhere. So because we bring it to 900 by 900 and then we done cropping. So that's why it's different area being cropped. And again, Dutch doesn't work that way because it's still, we try to, because again, the limit only applies to images that are larger than specified dimensions. So if we do fit, it's the second one, resize to fit, it will also affect the small image. So it will try to resize to 900 and do the cropping. Now, what if we do like a smaller, like a 500 to 500 and then do cropping off. So you can see lake was cropped properly on a different area again because we shrink the image and then we done cropping. So now we are cropping maybe the lake. The Dutch was stretched out to 500 by 500, then cropped to 300. Now this the website doesn't crop. Why did it crop? Because like think about the original image. It's really pretty stretched. It's pretty narrow already. See, like the whole image is like narrow, although it's big. So we resize it to 500 by 500, and then we try to crop 300. So maybe we are trying to crop a huge rectangle that is out of the area. So that's why it's failing. So cropping images with fit is not a like golden bullet either. So keep that in mind. And So let's trace it out again to 900 and everything is cropped properly. Yeah, so we have these nice little squares. And then we can apply our rotate property if we want to. Rotate 90 degrees. So you will see it's the same square, it's only rotated. And again, you don't have to crop in order to do the rotate. It's really up to you. But now, thing is, in the past when I was trying to avoid doing any front-end work as much as possible, good old days of like Internet Explorer 6 and everything else, I was trying to avoid to do any styling with CSS and HTML in order to, and what I was doing, I was just pretty much using tools similar to this. I know Active Story was not around that day, that age, but you know, like libraries like Minimagic was also able to do like a cropping of images with like gems like Carrier Wave or Paperclip. So long time ago. So I was pretty much always trying to like do this kind of HTML, sorry, the server-side cropping and styling. So I avoid any HTML, sorry, CSS work. But these days, the tools for, so I was pretty much always doing like equivalent of resize to fill. It will take a while. There we go. So I was doing equivalent of this all the time. But nowadays, with Tailwind and all the good stuff is happening, I'm styling like this class, telling it to be, let's say, height 48, by 48, oh, it's 36, 36 by 36. And by the way, if you are not aware, like Tailwind is like a utility class, or utility CSS framework. So you are specifying these utilities in order to style your images, and now the heights dimensions are 36, what they are saying, 36 by 36, which is like the way how they are calculating is based on like a line height or something like that. Anyway, it's basically a square, but you can see it's stretched, and now you can say object cover, and now it's correctly positioned, so it looks nice even if it's a square. And yeah, and if you go like even more hardcore into Tailwind, like obviously you can do this like with CSS. You know, you just specify the images and say object cover, which is a CSS property. You know, just Google object cover CSS, you will get it. But with Tailwind, I will show you one more trick that I'm using more often. Is I think it's called. So anyway, I don't know the name, but I learned about it recently. You can basically say something like give inside this div any image should be 836. Same applies for width. Let's see how that works. Yep. And also the object cover. And there we go. And you can load as many images as you want, you know, without this. This is actually really good for external libraries, styling external libraries. So, yeah. So this is one way how to go.